January 6th, 2010. I don't know why I was writing a letter to Diana Rao. I have to assume I was responding to a letter that she had written, because I just don't pick people out of the blue and start writing letters to them. But this is clearly an email from me to Diana Rao. And the headline of this is, Diana Rao says I should write a book, as do many others. And then this photo is Jamie's brother Mickey in the middle, who died on his 29th birthday. And then the little girl on the left is Mary, his sister, and that's Jamie on the right. An email to Diana Rao, one of our volunteers who was going skiing. Maybe that's why, because she was going skiing. My cousin, Mike Krim, and his teenage daughter were skiing in Colorado, and he hit a tree and died on the slope. His wife and teenage son were back at the lodge that day because they were sick. Mike worked for a place in Tampa called The News and did a framed big cat rescue article in the party house for us. His mother, Carole, is my mother's only sister and my namesake. She had 6 boys. Matt, her eldest, is the one I was raised with by our grandmother, Momma Jacquie, of Momma Jacquie's Cool Cat Cafe. Matt and his girlfriend was my private tour on Saturday. Matt had worked with Jamie on the Dave Mathews Band contest we did at Skipper's Smokehouse because they are Dave Mathews Band groupies. Both of our mothers worked full-time back in the 60s, so Momma Jacquie raised Matt and I until we were old enough for school. Jamie was her first great-grandchild, and she really wanted Jamie to go to college, but Jamie finished high school 2 years early as valedictorian of her little private school so that she could help me run the sanctuary when Dawn left in 1997. She never got the chance to follow her path, and when Momma Jacquie offered to send her to college, she asked that the money be donated to the sanctuary so that we could build food prep instead. Back then, Jamie had cuts all over her from working in the tight quarters of our food prep that was in a truck body in front of Apollo and Zeus. Imagine all of the people slinging knives during food prep in a space that was only about 3 feet wide and 15 feet long, and that's what food prep was like, a real nightmare. Coincidentally, in 1997, we lost Dawn, my Aunt Carole lost her husband Dwayne, who was Mike's dad, and we lost my grandfather, Big Daddy. The odd names are because he and Mom Jacquie told everyone they were my parents when I was little. 2 years later, Jamie lost her half-brother Mickey in a car accident on his 29th birthday. You have probably seen the sign on Jumanji's cage that she had made to commemorate the loss. From his obituary, Krim, Michael, 41, of Temple Terrace, Florida, died in a skiing accident on December 24th, 2009. A devoted servant of the Lord, husband and father, son, brother, uncle, and lifetime friend, he selflessly gave in everything he did. Heaven is richer, our lives are poorer. All in one email, it seems like a lot of tragedy, but we have a huge family, so it probably isn't much different than the average overall. This was Diana Rao's reply. Wow, Carole, it truly is a tragedy that he died so young, and the fact that your family is so large doesn't lessen the sense of loss. Your family lost someone who sounds like a wonderful, active, and caring man. My heart goes out to you and all the others. It seems like all of you are very close and share a lot of experiences, and not having him there will be sad. I think the loss of a loved one, be it he, she, or a family friend, is something no one ever gets used to. The pain is always sharp, and the sense of loss is always great. I think the only thing we learn from our many losses is that the passage of time does eventually heal and sweeten our memories. The last sentence of his obituary, "Heaven is richer, our lives are poorer," is one of the most beautiful tributes to someone I have ever read. On a different note, I hope that somewhere in your very busy schedule, you have taken or can take some time to document things and keep a written history of your family's rich and varied history. I don't need to say how unique your family is and all the many things you have accomplished and all of the experiences all of you have gained in achieving the creation of Big Cat Rescue. It would make a fascinating reading, and at the least should be put in writing as a gift to your family. Personally, I find Jamie an amazing person with unlimited talents and drive, and I really don't know her, not that I wouldn't love to rectify that. All of the photos that she has taken over the years could be a perfect accompaniment to your family history book. Wow, I could just see it now. We'll work on a title for the book, smiley face. Actually, to take it a step further, and this book may already exist without my knowledge, a book detailing how you went from owning exotic pets to advocating against them being kept as pets with all of the twists and turns would make a fascinating read, not only for those that know you personally or are involved in big cat rescue, but just as a good read. I have told you before that the best part of volunteer meetings has always been your stories, not only of the animals, but at times of how you got from point A to point B. In our safari guide, there is a summary of how Big Cat Rescue was created, but I know there is so much more to it. Your story should be in one giant picture-filled book. You're an excellent wordsmith, and your delivery, if it were an audiobook, would be powerful. Anyway, I have taken up enough of your time, and I know you have precious little of it. I will end my note by saying once again how sorry I am about your loss, and that I will keep you and your family in my prayers. That memories of good times spent and the passage of time will bring you comfort. Fondly, Diana. Well, Diana, are you watching? Thank you for the suggestion. You weren't the first, but it looks like there was an awful lot that you said here that actually ended up in this end product, which is not a book, but you get my drift.